teaching learning session of MMPC 20 Ethics and CSR, or Business Ethics and Corporate Social Responsibility. In today's session, we will discuss about Block 4, Unit 1, 2 and 3, CSR implementation and sustainability. And next is role and responsibility of the CSR in Unit 2, and in Unit 3, CSR and sustainability. So in this block, we will discuss about how CSR is implemented and what is the role and responsibility of corporate social responsibility, and how CSR and sustainability are interconnected with each other. This paper is Business Ethics and Corporate Social Responsibility. We know that in each and every business organization, firms or business enterprises' main goal is to produce more output and to get maximum profit and lowering the cost of the production. But there are some ethical issues. But companies have also some responsibilities towards its consumers, society, or stakeholders, etc. So CSR is the corporate social responsibility, because ethical values tells us the moral values or the right thing and the wrong thing, bad and good. It makes the distinguish between these concepts. Ethical values tells us about the values of the business enterprises, but CSR tells us that what is the corporate sector's responsibility towards the whole society, towards the whole economy, towards its stakeholders, and how CSR policy or guidelines, which is made by government, by some set of rules and regulations, how this policy can be implemented in all business organizations, and what is the connection between CSR and sustainability. So let us start from this topic, CSR. In this, we will define what is CSR. First of all, we must have to understand about this concept, the corporate social responsibility, and how CSR is implemented. The first step of a systematic review entertains a repetitive process of defining, clarifying, and refining. As such, we scored the CSR implementation literature to find any existing conceptual definitions that can support our review process. In our search for what it means to implement CSR, we found two empirical studies which develop CSR implementation framework. Next is corporate social responsibility. Before implementing this concept, we must understand what is the meaning of this corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is a type of international private businesses self-regulation that aims to contribute to societal goals of a philanthropic, by charity or by donation, activist or a charitable nature, or by engage in or support volunteering or ethically oriented practices. So CSR means when a firm contribute for the societal goals like philanthropic, activist or charitable nature or engage in volunteering or ethically oriented practices, that is called corporate social responsibility. Next is the CSR equation. Corporate social responsibility is the combination of all these four responsibilities. First responsibility of each and every business enterprises is economic responsibility. Economic responsibility means to earn maximum profit at lower cost. This is the first and basic responsibility of the business enterprises to become economically strong and to produce more output at lower cost and to increase the benefits of the business firm. This is economic responsibility of the enterprises. Second is legal responsibility. Legal responsibility is that a firm should follow the rules and regulations of the set by the government and to do only legal activities or don't do illegal activities, do only legal business or that type of business which is not harmful for the society and which follows all the rules and regulations of the government. That is called legal responsibility. Third is ethical responsibility. Ethical responsibility tells us that the corporate sector should follow their moral values, their ethical values. They always do good thing. They always use good type of technology or green technology or eco-friendly technology, because eco-friendly technology is always good for all communities or whole society or whole country people. And ethical responsibility tells us that company or corporate sector should do always right thing instead of wrong activities. Next is philanthropic responsibility. Philanthropic responsibility is that responsibility in which a corporate sector can do good for the needy people and for those people who are in need or who are poor and who are living below poverty line and they need the help of the society. So philanthropic responsibility can be fulfilled by doing some charity and donations, by giving grants to those society people who are in need of this help. So CSR equation is the total of all these four responsibilities. One is economic responsibility plus legal responsibility plus ethical responsibility plus philanthropic responsibilities. So if we add all these responsibilities, then we can get total corporate sector responsibility or CSR. Next is CSR policy. The CSR policy of the company shall include the projects and programs that are to be undertaken, a list of CSR projects or programs which a company plans to undertake, which may also focus on integrating business models with social and environmental priorities and processes in order to create shared values, specifying modalities of execution in the areas, sectors chosen and implementing or implementation the schedules. So CSR policy of a company should provide that surplus arising out of the CSR activity will not be a part of business profit of a company. CSR policy specifying that the corporate sector would include, or CSR would include the following. One is 2% of average net profit, that each and every corporate sector whose net worth is above 500 crore rupees, then that corporate sector should spend at least 2% of their average net profit for the welfare of the society, for the upliftment of the society, and for the uh, increasing the welfare of the whole community. Next is any income arising therefrom, and any income which is arising from the philanthropic activities must be spent on the welfare of the whole community. Next is surplus arising out of CSR activities. The surplus which is arising through this corporate social responsibility activities, that must be spent for the welfare of the human beings. This is the CSR policy. Next is CSR implementation. How this CSR policy can be implemented on all business organizations. In this, 4 steps are included. One is a company established under Section 8 of the Act, or a registered public trust or a registered society registered under Section 12A and G of the Income Tax Act 1961. It means if any company which is registered under the Section 12A or 18G of the Income Taxation Act 1961, that can implement CSR policy. A company which is established under the section of 8 of the Act, or a registered trust or a registered society established by the central government or state government, that can also follow this CSR implementation. CSR group policy can be implemented on that company which is established by the central government or state government. It means the company which is established under Section 12A and 80G of the Income Taxation Act, that is also can implement this CSR policy. A company which is established by central government and state government, that is also eligible for this implementing the CSR policy. And any entity established under an act of parliament or a state legislation, that is also implement CSR policy. And fourth is a company established under Section 8 of the Act, or a registered public trust or a registered society registered under Section 12A and Section 80G of the Income Tax Act 1961, and having track record at least 3 years in undertaking similar activities, that can also implement CSR policy. So all these 4 types of companies can implement CSR, or corporate social responsibility. Next is CSR implementation system. What is the system of implementation of corporate social responsibility? In this system, here first is board of directors. You know that the shareholder and who invested lot of money in the company, that it can also enter in board of directors meeting, and board of directors can make first of all CSR committee, and CSR committee, under this CSR committee secretariat will also present there, and CSR implementation group. In this system, the CSR implementation system, here internal audit, information system, factory administration, human resource, finance, planning, environmental management, quality management, purchasing, administration, intellectual property, and each division and each and every sector or part of the business enterprises. So these are CSR committees. CSR committee can be classified into all these broader categories, and these all strengthening the cooperation, and all committees, department, and group companies can implement this corporate social responsibility policies. One is internal audit, next is information system, next is factory administration, human resources, finance, planning, environment management, quality management, purchasing, and administration, intellectual property, and division. You know that when CSR policy is implemented by the corporate sectors, internal audit is also very necessary for implementing this policy. Internal audit tells us the worth of the company or corporate sector. If the net worth of the net worth of the company is above 500 crore or around 500 crore, then firm is able to implement this CSR. And information regarding all the system of the company must be available, factory administration must be available, human resources can be used accurately or properly, human resources are fully utilizing by the company, finance which exists in each and every business enterprises, which is the main base of business organization, finance, because without finance a firm can't be operate, can't run their business activities smoothly. So finance and planning, all these things are necessary for implementing this CSR system. Next is 9 steps of an effective CSR implementation. In this, first of all, before implementation of corporate social responsibility, first of all, we must have to develop a CSR strategy. First step is, if we develop a CSR strategy, then we can implement it. After developing a CSR strategy, then operationalizing the institutional mechanism will work. After that, due diligence of the implementation partner, all the stakeholders will agree on the policy of the CSR. After their agreement or their consent, then CSR project will develop or project development will take place. Next is, when project is developed, then project will be sent to the board of director for approval, because without approval you can't make any policy, you can't implement any policy. So after making this project development, then project will go for approval, and after project approval come, then finalizing the implementation agency. Finalizing with the implementation agency, then we must have to finalize with the implementing agencies. Then implementing agencies will monitoring all the progress and approval. All things will be supervised and will be inspected by the implementing agency. After that, its impact measurement will be done. What will be the impact of this CSR policy, and how we can measure its impact. So impact measurement will tell us that what is the impact of CSR policies or implementation. After that, the last step is report consolidation and communication. When impact is measured, then report will be consolidated and communicated by the company that company is accepting this CSR policy and implementing in a very right way and following the procedure or rules and regulations regarding corporate social responsibilities law. So these are the 9 steps to an effective CSR implementation. One is developing a CSR strategy, then operationalizing the institutional mechanism. Next is due diligence of the implementation partners must be taken consent from there and project. After that, project will be developed. After developing the project will go to the approval. For approval, some agencies will see that project, and after that, finalizing with the implementation agency, they will monitoring all these things. Then after that, they will estimate the impact of this CSR policy, and at last they can make report, consolidation, and communication. So these are the 9 steps to an effective CSR implementation. Next is drivers to CSR implementation. What are the main drivers of this CSR implementation policy? Number one is it will increase trust. The first driver is which will increase the trust and improve company's image and relationship with our stakeholders. First is stakeholders. Stakeholders are the drivers of CSR implementation because stakeholders trust and stakeholders belief can improve the company's image and company's relationship with their stakeholders like planners, decision makers, and managers, executives, etc. These all are known as stakeholders. Second drivers are it will build better relations or and increase the trust between company and the employees. Second drivers are companies and employees. If there is a very good relationship between company and the employees, then definitely company will work very smoothly and company will able to achieve its set targets or goals. So it will make better relationship and increase the trust between companies and employees. Then profit will also increase. Then CSR policy can be implemented in that type of companies where company and employees are in a good relation. Third is it will improve the environmental performance and compliances. Third driver says it will improve that environmental performance should also be improved. It means before implementing CSR policy, environmental issue must be taken into account because environment is must be protected and must be prevented. Next is it will ensure an enhanced company's ability to comply with statutory maritime legislation. Company must follow the rules and regulations of the uh, government or legal responsibility must be there. So, philanthropic, we have studied about CSR. CSR is the summation of economic responsibility, legal responsibility, and other 2 types of responsibility, total 4 philanthropic responsibility and environmental or societal responsibility. So if all these responsibilities are fulfilled by the corporate sector, then CSR policy can be implemented. So these are the drivers to CSR implementation. Next is corporate social responsibility and sustainability insights. Sustainability and CSR can be exist uh, at four level. One is environment, second is workplace, third is marketplace, and fourth is society. It means corporate social responsibility and sustainability. We can study about both these things with the help of these four major issues or four places. First of all, we must have to consider this environment because sustainability is generally related with environmental protection and stopping the degradation of environment, and each and every corporate sector is responsible to secure the environment and save the environment by using green technologies. At workplace, employees and employer must have good relationship. Good working conditions must be provided to the employees so that absenteeism will be less and production or output level will be more. Third is marketplace. At marketplace, sustainability and corporate social responsibility occurs when company is producing good quality product and providing to the consumer at lower price and good qualitative products to the consumer. That will increase the image or prestige of the company. So marketplace means when producer or seller is selling its product in market, then product must be qualitative and it must be available at a lower price so that consumer needs can be satisfied and consumer surplus will not be affected by the price of the product. And for society, in case of society, the society benefit or society's upliftment, society's well-being must be exist, then corporate social responsibility and sustainability concept can be fulfilled. So these are the four aspects through which we can study about CSR and sustainability. Next is sustainable development. Sustainable development is that type of development in which three main aspects are included. One is economic aspect, second is social aspect, and third is environmental aspect. Sustainable development has three spheres of development or three spheres of sustainability. One is environmental aspect, in which natural resources should be used efficiently without any wastages and environmental protection must be exist. Second is economic aspect. Wealth creation and property increasing and employment generation is the economic aspect of sustainable development. Because if company increases its wealth or income or property, then company can work more and can give more employment opportunities to the country people, and in this case country can grow at a very faster rate. So economic aspect is also very necessary for achieving this sustainable development. And third is social aspect. In this aspect, cultural identity, social inclusion, civil rights, all these things must be provided by the corporate sectors to the society. Social exclusion must be avoided and social inclusion must be included. Civil rights should be provided to each and every citizens, and cultural identity must be there. So these are the three aspects of sustainable development. Now next is, these are the thematic areas for achieving this sustainable development. You know that at world level, there are 17 sustainable development goals are decided, and 17 sustainable development goals in which some thematic areas are like water, sanitation and hygiene. It means environment can be safe or protected when water, sanitation and hygiene is available to each and every country people. Next is health and nutrition. Health and nutrition is also the main sustainable development goal. If all country people are healthy or nutritious, they are taking nutritious diet, because we know that in a sound body, sound mind exists. If body is sound, then mind will definitely work in a peaceful way or in a sound way. So sound body has sound mind. For taking this assumption, health and nutrition must be exist in each and every country, and we should emphasize on this health and nutrition activities so that country people can take their good food and good facilities for making their health good. Third is skill development. Skill development is also very necessary, because if skill is developed, country is spending more money for the development of the skill of the country people, then country people can achieve employment opportunities and can achieve more income. They can earn more income for the growth of the country. So skill development also very necessary for whole community and for whole the country people, because skill development is necessary for economic aspect. For economically, if we want to become strong, then skill must be developed. Next is quality education. Education must be qualitative, not only in quantitative terms. Quality education can encourage earning capacity of the country people, and earning capacity can raise their standard living of the country people, and standard of living can increase the growth of the country. So quality education is very necessary, in which each and every person must be aware about the wrong things and must be aware about the right things. And if qualitative education is available to each and every person, then they can make differentiate between good and bad, right and wrong, and they can emphasize those activities which is really good for the welfare of the country people and for the whole economy. Next is quality healthcare must be provided for the country people, because healthcare facilities are at present in India. Here, healthcare facilities are increasing, and private and public sector hospitals are also increasing, but not only in quantity terms. Qualitative healthcare facilities must be provided to each and everyone, so that each and every person who is suffering from diseases, if quality healthcare service facilities are available, then a person can achieve very good health in a very less time period, and can give more contribution in GDP, and due to increase in GDP, output level will increase and national income of the country will also increase. And next is women empowerment. Women empowerment is also the main goal of sustainable development, because if there is inequality exists in male and female, then economy can't develop, because in whole world level, near about 51% male and near about 49% ratio is of female. So female are not less than males. So women empowerment is also very necessary, and there should be no any discrimination between male and female working capacity, and don't underestimate the woman at workplace level. So women empowerment is necessary for the upliftment of the whole society. So all these issues are related with sustainable development. Next is a CSR assessment avoids the trap of launching a CSR approach that is not sustainable. If we assess the CSR policy, then we can define that what type of activities are sustainable, including in sustainable development, and what type of CSR approach that is not sustainable. So identifying CSR gaps, opportunities, and therefore thereby improve business decisions making, because CSR assessment can clarify that what type of activities are related to the sustainable development and what type of activity on the other hand is not sustainable. You know that many firms are already engaging in CSR activities without necessarily identifying them as such. And frequently, a firm can introduce a CSR approach to support or complement this work without much incremental investment. For example, if a firm may have in place quality, environmental, occupational, health and safety, and other management system, employees educational and advancement programs or community outreach initiatives, these are likely to become important building blocks of a systematic CSR approach. So CSR approach must be uh, including these types of good things like place quality, environmental protection, health and safety uh, at workplace, and other management system, employees educational advancement programs for whole community, uh, and to promote these types of initiatives which is necessary for the well-being of the whole community. That is very important building blocks of a systematic CSR approach. Next is ISO 9001, IECQ, QC 08000. These are quality policy. We follow a policy of promoting total quality management for environmental protection and customer satisfaction. At present, government has set some qualitative the scale of measuring the quality of the product. These are some scales like ISO 14001, ISO 45001, ISO 14051. These are the environmental management, material, flow, and occupational health and safety policies. These are some quality policies and some criteria for setting the quality of the product. And what is the need of these ISO or qualitative policies? The quality policy, which is very necessary for making and or enforcing the clean production, pollution prevention, and continuous improvement of environmental performance. Environmental compliances and accountability for employees' safety and health. It encourages those practices. Uh, it encourages contractors to practice proper environmental protection, safety, and health. It controls safety and health risk, prevent injuries, and unhealthy behavior. It volunteering the group activities, inventory and reduction, uh, continue to conserve energy resources, take product life cycle into account in continuing to increase ratio of reclamation and recycling, ensure the non-use of restricted environmental substances in product. It communicates to all workers and under the supervision of the company their individual responsibility of environment, safety and health. So if some people voluntarily support this quality policy, and if in quality policy these uh, measurement scales followed by the company, then definitely occupational health and safety policies will encourage uh, good standard living of the country people, and they will support or they will contribute more in the production of goods and services. So each and every workers uh, under the company who are working under the in the company, they are they should take this benefits from the corporate sectors. Stakeholders involved in developing a sustainability plan. How stakeholders may be involved in developing a sustainable plan? Sustainability. For making this sustainability, there is a team of members. One is Sustainability Advisory Board. First of all, sustainability plan has been made. After that, sustainability advisory board, sustainability auditor, sustainability experts, interdepartmental team, community stakeholders group, general public and external experts like universities, consultants, etc. All these are the participating uh, department under this sustainability development plan. If we are making a plan which is showing that country can achieve this sustainable target, to make good plan for the sustainability of the country, then sustainability advisory board, which will suggest some specific working groups, brainstorm high priorities issues. It will develop some goals and inputs on strategies and initiatives and advice on planning process. Sustainability coordinators coordinate the planning process. They will manage writing of the sustainability plan. They will also coordinate the implementation of the sustainability plan, because sustainability coordinator mainly works for operating or coordinating the plan which is made by sustainable planners. An interdepartmental team will analyze some issues like development goals, development strategies, and initiatives. Community stakeholders group will enhance the strategies by public outreach process and give high priorities issues. And general public participation must be exist there, and they can submit their ideas online, and with the help of all these group members which are involved in developing a sustainability plan, definitely if all work efficiently, then sustainability plan will become more better and will also be able to achieve its set target. Next is sustainable development. Sustainable development is that type of development in which we use all the available resources in such a way so that our present generation needs as well as our future generation needs both can be satisfied without any compromisation of the resources. Sustainable development is concerned with people, concerned with planet, concerned with partnership, concerned with peace and prosperity. These are five P's. One is people. People means sustainable development is called when we are able to end the poverty and hunger in all forms and ensure dignity and equality. At planet level, if we protect our planet, our earth, of natural resources which are non-renewable, non-generating in future, we can't generate, and we should protect our climate for future generation. Third is partnership. In this sustainable development must include partnership that each and every country should participate for the achievement of this common goal or sustainable development goal. So partnership means the implement the agenda through a solid global partnership because without the help of or without the partnership of another countries, only single country can't achieve the sustainable development goals. Next is peace. Peace is very necessary. Foster peaceful, just and inclusive societies is necessary for the achievement of sustainable development. Because if war happens or war occurs in any country, then war will definitely destroy the things, not increasing this sustainable development issue. And prosperity ensures prosperous and fulfilling lives in harmony with nature. So these 5 P is very necessary for the achievement of sustainable development goals. People, planet, partnership, peace, and prosperity. Next is employees for sustainable development or CSR. First of all, companies or corporate sectors must do good for their employees. Being a committed employer, if employer develop talents and encourage leadership and collaborative management, it can promote diversity and global thinking. For customers, it being an outstanding partner for our customers. It provides innovative and sustainable high quality solutions that meet our customers' requirement, build long-term trusting relationship. For civil society or whole society, this can help in increasing the innovations and establish partnership with the academic and scientific communities and act ethically and responsibly. Next is environment. Being an environmentally friendly player, develop solutions with the help of which will help the environmental uh, protection and reduce the environmental footprints of manufacturing and comply with regularly regulatory requirements, limit the environmental impact of global offices. Next is, let's define these 3 spheres. We have already defined these 3 spheres of sustainability. One is economic aspect, second is social aspect, and third is environmental aspect. You know that sustainability is the concept which tells us about the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation needs to meet their own needs. And what is 3 bottom line? And 3 bottom line considers, measures, and refers to achieving a balance between integrated means economical, financial, social, and environmental. Three bottom line includes economic aspect, social aspect, and environmental aspect which perform for the society. Next is new regulatory landscape covering business responsibility in India. Business responsibility reporting. SEBI, Stock Exchange Bureau of India, amends Clause 55 of the listing agreement, making BRR means business responsibility reporting in August 2012 for the top 100 corporate sectors. And corporate social investment under section 135, it's mandatory for every corporate sector that corporate sector must have to spend 2% of their average net profit on the welfare of the community or whole society. Department of Public Enterprises issued guidelines to central public sector enterprises to spend 1 to 5% of their profit for sustainable development activities. It means DPE, Department of Public Enterprises issued guidelines for the central public sector enterprises that central public enterprises must have to spend 1 to 5% in between of this range of their profit for which type of activities? Sustainable development activities, in which we include environmental, societal, and economically and philanthropic activities. These activities for environment, safety, workplace, all these things are included in sustainable activities. Next is implementing corporate social responsibility. There is no one size fits all method for pursuing a corporate social responsibility approach. Each firm has unique characteristics and circumstances that will affect how it views its operation. Context 1 and its defining social responsibilities. Each will vary in the awareness of CSR issues and how they work. It has already done towards implementing a CSR approach. That said, there is a considerable value of proceeding with CSR implementation. It's a systematic way in harmony with a firm's mission and sensitive to its business culture, environment, and risk profile and operating conditions. Many firms are already engaged in customers' welfare, society welfare, employees' welfare, and environmental activities that can be excellent starting points for firm-wide CSR approach. CSR can be phased in by focusing carefully on priorities, and systematic approaches can be pushed when resources are and over all priorities permits of require. The bottom line or three bottom line is that CSR needs to be integrated into the firm's core decision making strategy, management, process, and activities, incrementally or comprehensively. So CSR implementation framework in this government has set some ISO, International Organization for Standardization. This improve the quality of the product and environmental management system. So this ISO quality approaches is the framework which intended to be flexible and the firms encouraged to adopt is the appropriate for their organization. And CSR is the well-designed framework for implementation, and it integrates three aspects: economic, social, and environmental decisions making throughout a firm, from the board of directions to the frontline officials and supply chain patrons partners. Next is CSR has issued guidance on implementation and integration of CSR that noted that in many ways implementing CSR is like any other management task and called for defining CSR goals, take into account into the issues and ideas that should have been identified during stakeholders' engagement, implementing programs with a view towards achieving the goals in a timely manner, checking to make sure that the goals are being achieved through some sort of assessment or auditing process, and dealing with problems and non-conformance to goals through quality management techniques. So UN Global Compact also referred to an alternative system-based approach to continuous CSR improvement that include assessment, strategy, implementation, and communication, arguing that such as an approach was useful to ensure CSR was fully integrated into all the aspects of the organizational strategy and opposed to simply being viewed as a nice to do and add on. As with most other aspects of CSR and sustainability, there is no universal standard for CSR implementation and integration. The concept of corporate social responsibility and that of sustainable development progressed separately for a long time. The business sphere got a larger and larger role in sustainable development, and it has become clear by now that CSR contributes to the sustainable development of the business sphere, and without that sustainable development, it can't be attained or achieved. So the concept of CSR is really related with sustainable development, and without sustainable development and without the contribution of corporate sectors, we can't achieve this set targets. CSR implementation construct. CSR implementation is characterized by complexity, where the organization has to deal with different stakeholders internally and externally. Further, this complexity of CSR implementation is pronounced with its contextual nature across industries, countries, time, and pool of stakeholders. And the role with the CSR or sustainability department include: one is sustainability. Sustainability mainly focus on environmental issues, initiatives and strategies. Monitoring and evaluation, in which we measure a company's progress towards its goals. Reporting, which analyze the and measures the documents, matrices. Employees engagement, who activate the power of the workforce. Community investment is mainly focused on social purpose initiatives within the community, either at global level or local level. Partnership and events, work with non-profit or associations to promote a cause or give back to the community. And marketing communications or public relations, which communicate the impact of a company's programs. These are the role with CSR. Our sustainability department include these 7 things. Now, major challenges of CSR is few states which are already industrialized will get an edge in development. It will increase regional disparity in growth as industries are concentrated in shorter geography. There is still ambiguity over the tax treatment of the money spent on CSR. To spend such a huge amount of with proper monitoring is another major challenge of CSR. CSR responsibilities, we can classify CSR responsibilities in two ways. One is internally, second is externally. Internal responsibility mainly exists when responsibility towards owner, supplier, employees, and investors. These are called CSR responsibility in internal sector. And in external way, responsibility towards society, competitors, customers, and for government. These are two types of responsibility of corporate sector. One is internal, other is external. And what are the key responsibilities of organization? The main key responsibilities of organization is social responsibility towards whole society's upliftment or well-being. Environmental responsibility includes pollution prevention and green concerns. Ethics and business concerns with equity, fairness, impartiality, rights of individuals, prevent harm to others. Management responsibility mainly with employees, suppliers, competitors, and whole community, and legal responsibilities related to health and safety laws, etc. Now we can conclude from today's session that CSR holds a very important place in the development scenario of the world today and can pose as an alternative tool for sustainable development. Nevertheless, CSR has certain limitations which restrict its activities. The need of the hour is to formulate effective CSR or strategic policies and adopt various instruments according to the company history. Now, CSR and business ethics, the CSR implementation process we have completed in this session. Thank you.